Hi folks, this is your MWIS Winter Planner with our in-depth look at the week ahead and beyond. First of all, some of the detailed charts into the Christmas period, and starting off with the snow depth situation, and this is where we find ourselves as we go into Saturday, with northern Scotland really the main focus for any lying snow, and that down to quite low elevations with some overnight snowfall here, but we do have some milder air coming in from the southwest, quite a marked rise of freezing level. That's shown as being down as low as 200 to 400 metres across northeastern Scotland early on Saturday morning, but across much of the Highlands and out toward the west, it's well above freezing point to higher summits, and that rise of freezing level will be pushing in, so even in the northeast by the afternoon, that value goes above freezing to the highest tops, and it stays there through into the night. And as we go into Sunday, it's generally above the summits, although that level is starting to drop again from the north during the daytime, and that will come down first to around 1200 metres and maybe later in the afternoon nearer to 1000 metres, especially in the north, and maybe northernmost mountains just lower than that up to dusk. That freezing level continues to lower as we head overnight then into Christmas Day, and as we go to Christmas morning, you're looking at a level of around 800 metres broadly across the Highlands. Some north and northwestern spots could be 600 metres or lower. Nearer to the central belt, you're typically above 1000 metres, and for England and Wales, generally above freezing points, the highest summits, maybe near to freezing, just on the highest tops in the Lake District. Quite a complicated forecast for Christmas Day at this stage. Could be quite a challenging day across the Highlands where some snowfall could well exist to quite low elevations. Let's return to that story on the snow depth map. This is where we are at midday Christmas Eve. Sunday, not too much left really across northern Scotland, having had some rain and a thaw through from late Saturday. Some areas of snow pockets though across the higher mountains still to be aware of, and some icy conditions reforming as that freezing level lowers once again. Into Christmas Day itself, and we have some fresh accumulations developing then as that freezing level drops, and there will be some precipitation around, so the scope for some quite significant accumulations across more northern and northwestern parts of the Highlands, and degree of uncertainty on exactly who gets what, but just be prepared for maybe some heavier snowfall to develop, at least across the northern half of Scotland by this time. This chart shows you the general precipitation for Christmas Day, and heavy rain likely across Wales, strong winds here as well. Not quite as wet across the Lake District, but rain on and off most likely. For Scotland, another circulating frontal system coming in from the west, quite a difficult feature at the moment to pin down exactly, but that's likely to move in to give some heavier falls of rain at lower elevations through the central belt, but some snowfall into the Highlands. That could well turn heavy and persistent, and this chart shows you the precipitation type. The green is rain, the blue is snow, and shows how that exists across a good part of the Highlands, with maybe much of northern Scotland at risk of some of that heavier snowfall across the mountains and even to lower elevations in places as the day progresses. But further south you can see that transition back to rain. Into Boxing Day, and it looks as though most of Scotland stays at sub-zero across the mountains, above around 800 metres, maybe even as low as 600 metres across more inland areas and the Cairngorms. Around the southwestern coasts, temperatures that little bit higher on the mountains around the islands. Across England and Wales, the freezing level is around 900 to 1000 metres. That weather system from late Christmas Day moves away towards Scandinavia. The remnants of it still around though, and we're left with a generally west by northwesterly airflow overnight into the start of Boxing Day, with still some areas of showers and maybe more frequent precipitation with snow to quite low elevations in north and western Scotland. Still got that westerly breeze, and uncertainty just on how the system fades will then dictate how strong that wind will remain through Boxing Day. The speed's likely coming down, but do be prepared for significant wind chill factor and rather blustery conditions still into the daytime. A ridge of high pressure building from the south lessens the wind speed across Wales and then into northern England. We do have a further weather system though trying to approach from the southwest, and that's of interest into the middle of the week. From Boxing Day into Wednesday, snow lying on the ground is focused on northern and northwestern Scotland, but as we head through into the middle of the week further, you'll see how some accumulations turn up across southern Scotland and northern England as well, and may well fill in more extensively across the Highlands as well. Although quite a bit of uncertainty, most indications do suggest chillier conditions stay in charge through the second half of the week, with the temperature staying sub-zero on the mountains and maybe that freezing level coming down more widely. That's at least a suggestion by Friday the 29th, where we have a freezing level below 600 metres widely for Scotland and down to 800 metres or lower for England and Wales. Areas of low pressure are more likely to be circulating further to the south than overall, which is good in terms of producing some snowfalls further north across Britain, and that may well then bring some snow to quite low elevations through that time later in the week. A lot to play for detail, but it does look a more promising chart for keeping some colder and snowy conditions in the mix as we run toward the later stages of the year. The indicated pressure patterns as we go into the start of January suggest that low pressure would be around Scandinavia and Eastern Europe, high pressure to the west of us, and that's then allowing a northerly airflow to be the prevailing pattern and maintaining those cold conditions. Further ahead, and the suggestion is that high pressure would start to build further from the west, which would bring some quieter, settled conditions, maintaining some chilly air as well as we head onwards toward the middle part of January. Lots to keep up to date with then, all your local details updated every day on our website. Your next video available on Sunday. Thanks for watching.